This machine is called the 2500, and basically it's a small, very powerful computer which has built into it hardware to run two kinds of displays. This is the central processor, which is the computer itself. This is a display which shows printed material, and it can use several kinds of fonts. In fact, you can design your own type font, and it can do a limited amount of picture displaying ability. And this is called a vector scope, which can show pictures made of lines and curves and points, and can show pictures that move quite rapidly, and any kind of animation that you can program. I'll say a few words about the computer. Here's a copy of the central processor unit. It costs us about $2,000 to make this thing. It consists simply of a power supply to run the components and one large board that holds these integrated circuit components on it. It has about 250 chips, and it's in sections. This section is the memory. This is the computer itself. This processes the television display. This is the part that does arithmetic, and those things can do more or less anything. Over here in the corner is the part that produces the vector display on that scope, and it's capable of drawing line figures very rapidly. You have to understand that this machine cannot make filled-in regions very well. It can fill in a few small regions, but basically it makes things out of line drawings, and that's the reason for its speed and capability. Okay, we developed this machine to make it possible to bring graphics to people who couldn't afford $100,000 or so for a graphic system. And in particular, we had in mind people in schools. The languages and computer facilities in schools really are very primitive. They make the children learn to work with 1960s style equipment, and one of the things that we discovered is that animation really turns kids on and lets them do serious projects instead of just toy problems and forms to fill out. So one of the reasons why we think this machine makes animation practical for people is that we've developed a language and a computer system to go with it that makes it easy for ordinary people who aren't computer scientists or mathematicians or programmers to express themselves in moving graphic format. We think the machine can be made to sell for $5,000 or less. The company right now consists of 4 or 5 people who have put together about 20 of these, and the cost of assembling and constructing each one is somewhere between $2,000 and $3,000. The displays cost about $300 each, the board about $1,000, and so forth. The components in mass production would presumably be quite a bit less, and the board quite a bit less, and so forth. The machine can be loaded, or any of the programs that you develop can be stored on a simple audio cassette, because the picture is not stored in video form. It's stored in a form you'll see shortly, just as a list of where the lines and points and how fast they're moving are. And so it's not necessary to store the whole 250,000 points that's in a standard video picture on the tape. That way we get an enormous amount of information for very low cost, and that's what makes having this sort of thing be usable in schools possible, and presumably for lots of other applications where one isn't using full video bandwidth. Also, the pictures can be sent along ordinary telephone lines without any trouble, because they appear on the telephone just in the same format as teletype characters, and you can get quite a lot of picture with quite a small number of words. If you describe a picture with words, you really win on the communication bandwidth score.